Hey y'all, it's your homegirl Ronnika, and I'm here with.
I was just waiting to hear my name again.
Okay. I was like, I felt like
No.
he was going to.
You're here with Jeffrey at Mr. Fantastic World.
And this is the Please Do Tell podcast. Welcome back. I was like, I had a feeling. I was like, he's gonna leave me hanging.
I mean, I had to give something,
Know your friends.
Know.
Know your
It's
friends.
another episode.
Know your friends. You just know. But thank y'all for coming back. This week we want to really dive into and I because we straight shooters, we just gonna get right to it. But today's theme is all about we believed what, but in previous episodes we've been giving like people their flowers, we've been talking about different anecdotes, we've been giving different stories about just us growing up in church. Elders that have influenced us, but we're also diving into like what in the heck should we have and have not been believing back then. So with today's episode, we're talking about like we believed what? Huh.
We believe what?
We were believing a lot of things, like step on a crack, break your mama's back,
Oh
all the
man.
things. All of the things.
That step in your crack, break your mother's back. Uh, it may have taken 2 or 3 years out of my life,
Mhm.
like when you go outside.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, you hear somebody say, "Well, you can't do this, you can't do
You
that."
can't do
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
I'm in this pretend land. I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing.
I'm over here. Look, I'm not in a pretend land. I'm in a real land. But my computer told me I'm at 4%. So that's why
Oh,
I
well,
jumped
we
up and
don't want
I
to lose you. We don't want to lose you.
like, let me make it make sense.
Or as they say, I don't want to miss a thing. So, the first part of the story time we're going to jump into is I swore this was real until. If we can quickly think about some things, so we're going to share a myth or belief that we that we had growing up that were like, is that true or not? Like you just heard me say, step on a crack, break your mama's back. Um, my family didn't really believe in the split the pole. I didn't really hear about that a whole lot until I moved to the South. And I had friends like, girl, don't you be splitting that pole. I mean, I've seen arguments at the outlet mall. I'm sure. Well, I think I was with Shanita. That we watched a man cuss out his family for splitting a pole, and I said it should never
I've
ever
seen,
be that serious.
I remember in the plaza,
Mm-mm.
if you from where I'm from, you know the plaza. In the plaza and kids spot, okay? Throwback. Before there was a max 10.
Oh.
There was a kid spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would get my clothes from when I was a kid. And there was a pole that like held up. And I remember one time my cousin, shout out to Danita. My cousin, her birthday was
Just had a birthday, yes.
she just had her birthday just past Monday. Um, she's always been against the grain. She split that pole, and oh my God. It was like the first time I seen like adults double team
Yeah,
a kid.
yeah,
They
yeah.
did not believe in splitting that pole. So yeah, I do understand that. Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about it. I knew about the no purse on the floor, and for a lot of reasons, I thought that was a Kojic thing. There is no shade there, you all. I feel like I had a great childhood,
You
and I
said
was
the what?
through a lot. But I feel like that no purse on the floor was a Kojic thing.
I don't know. What's that? Explain that to me.
Church of God in Christ.
No, no. The no purse on the floor. How many
Okay, so the
purse
no
have you
purse
bought?
on the floor was if you put the purse on the floor is something about you're missing out on money or that's the money that's going to leave that purse. And I was like, "What are you saying to me right now?"
So you mean to tell me that there's people in this world that believe that if you put your pocketbook, because I
Right,
had to
they
throw
gonna
the
say
word.
pocket. They gonna say pocketbook.
Look, I had to throw pocketbook. Shout out to the grandmas. You put your purse on the floor, then you gonna lose something? Learn something new today?
Uh-huh.
Learn something new today?
So for years, I didn't put my purse on the ground. I'm like, wow, okay. But
Wow.
there was one thing that still stuck with me that I'm like, do I eat candy like after a certain time? My grandmother, my paternal grandmother, told me because the convenience store was literally like three houses down or three lots down. Shout out to the Napier Seven Sisters on Main Street.
All right now.
Um, Went down there, got my annihilators, my favorite annihilators, which were the annihilator cherry cola, cherry on one side, cola on the other. I don't know why they got rid of that, but I'm still to this day, you're gonna always hear me talk about the cherry cola because they brought back the orange annihilators, but they ain't bring back the cherry cola.
I don't like the orange. Didn't like
I
the orange.
digress. I digress. Okay. My grandmother told me to not eat any annihilators after 8 p.m. And I was like, "Why, Granny?" And she said, "Little monsters are gonna come out of your stomach, and they're gonna eat all of us, and just not do it."
That's hilarious.
I decided to test Granny that night and had a nightmare about little aliens, like almost like the movie Aliens, like coming out of my stomach, and I feel like even to this day, I don't eat candy.
After 8 o'clock?
I would have a swig of alcohol, but I will not eat candy that late at night because I still feel like, oh my goodness, the little aliens are gonna just come out of my stomach. But she told me that like whatever works, Granny, whatever works. So that was one of the things that I felt like, okay, I can't eat sweets after a certain time of night because I'm gonna have bad dreams.
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
I don't know if that was a myth or a belief, but listen, hell,
I did remember as a kid. I don't know about the story of them people coming out your belly. I don't know nothing about them.
whatever.
But they did say if you ate candy and then went to sleep, then you would automatically wake up hungry.
Mm.
I do remember that.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know the reason, but I really, in my opinion, at the time, I felt that they just didn't want me to eat candy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that was the goal. That
Yeah.
was the
So
goal.
they just came up with anything just so we didn't eat candy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. The
but
aliens coming out of my stomach. I believe that. Yeah. I dreamed about it and I just didn't do it anymore after that. Just like she told me, if you're gonna eat any prunes, eat one, no more than two. And what did I do?
not prunes.
It was a shitty mess.
I was just gonna say, not prunes.
It was the guy, when they had like the little raisins dancing. Yeah, it
How
was.
old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
I was like maybe 7 or 8.
Oh, come on now. And you had no way of, you set yourself up. A real adult can't do one. You did three.
I did, and she told me not to do it. So that was me telling on myself that I had ate too many prunes.
Mm-mm.
Mm. So I would test the system. That's what I did. I would test the
Mm-mm.
system. Okay. So cultural myths and superstitions. Do you believe in the superstitions of don't sweep over my feet, itchy palms, because I found myself scratch even before we start recording or even at work. I was just like, ooh, my palms are itching.
Well, according to my people, they would say which hand.
Right. Which
Yeah,
hand?
yeah, which hand? Because if it's your right hand, you're getting money. If your left hand,
Left, you
you're losing
lose it.
money. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I've been a part of other families, and they got it reversed. The left hand, you get money, and the right hand, you get money.
Yeah.
So, yep, 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 yeah. I've definitely had the
Ooh,
whole,
Chile.
the hand palm.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one that you said?
Itchy palms, don't sweep over my feet. The don't put your purse on the floor, which we talked about earlier.
The don't sweep over your feet. My mom was very, very like superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
Enough where I think she even had an incident at work
Mm.
when I was like a little kid where they tried to like create it was like during Halloween. She was a supervisor, and this is the loose 80s where there wasn't no policies and
Yeah.
procedures.
Yeah.
I think they tried to do like a whole like Halloween thing, and Halloween mean witches and
Evil
cats.
spirits and all of that. Yeah.
But cats, and my mom
Oh yeah. Yeah.
hated cats, which is crazy. Leo hate cats, but yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, yeah, that would be the one. Like you cannot sweep over my feet. My mom was very, and if you did sweep over your feet, like incidentally, you had to spit in the broom. Yeah, you had to spit in the broom. Yeah, nobody knows that part. Yeah, you sweep over somebody's feet because the what I learned over time is if you sweep over someone's feet, then you're going to jail. And
Yeah.
as a black person going to jail during that period of time, you may not come back. That was the way that it was like portrayed to me as a kid. You go to jail, you ain't never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Now people, they glorify, over the last 30 years, but in mine of growing up, you didn't want to go to jail because you may not come back, you know.
Mm.
But so from that standpoint, if somebody hit your foot with that broom, then
Yeah.
my mom would I've seen her with my own eye, rest her soul. Um, I seen her with my own eyes snatch a broom and spit on it like a hawk spit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean like multiple times. I
Yeah.
seen her get into it with her siblings because they would mess with her because they knew she was adamant about that broom. So yeah, that's definitely one for sure.
Mm. And
Yeah.
Barbara would call it not superstition but stupidstition. Like what she said, because these are just some stupid stuff that we have believed in and we can't let go of. So I call it stupidstition.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I think that over time, I think certain people say, "Hey, this is not what I'm going to be a part of. This is not what
Yeah.
I'm going to do." But then there's a lot of people say, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it."
Don't fix it.
Yeah, don't fix it.
Don't fix it at all. So I know that we can talk about what's the wildest thing you believed and defended with your whole chest?
And it was wrong, or just period.
Period. The myth that did the most. What's the wildest thing? What could be a myth? What's the wildest thing you believed and defended with your whole chest?
Shout out to Dr. Harmon.
Mm.
And I haven't, researched her, but it just popped up. I was in undergrad, end of my last year, and one of the last classes that I had to complete was African religion, because one of my degrees is in Africana studies, other one is in political science. Um, I had to give a presentation. Now, my professor, Dr. Harmon, was an ordained uh, pastor,
Okay.
female. So I grew up Baptist church, people, y'all know me,
Mm.
where a woman don't go in front of the pulpit.
Yeah.
So I took my upbringing and now my professor, who I didn't even know, like she was my professor, like she was a part of the professorial um, faculty for
Okay.
maybe 2 years. And then the second year, I became one of her students. So I really liked her, but I didn't know. And she strategically held back that she was a pastor of a church.
Mm.
Being that she wasn't from the community, no one really kind of knew her background.
Yeah.
Or I, as a 20-year-old man, 21-year-old man, I didn't care what her background was until she shared it. So she shared her background, and then all of a sudden I was anti, like, what's she doing being a pastor?
Mm.
So not only did I say I was against it, but I didn't say it like verbally initially. But she gave us a project, and it was our last project for that class. And I instead of getting into a group, I actually went into doing a solo project, and the majority of my presentation was against women being leaders in, the church.
Yeah.
Didn't know until maybe, no, I didn't even know. And then it was crazy because once I finished the presentation, she said, you know, she picked it apart, but she told me because we all agreed that we would say what our grade was. She said, "Oh, you get a B plus." I was like, man, I was upset that I got a B plus. She said, "But I give you courage, knowing or unknowingly knowing that I am an ordained pastor,
Mm.
and you gave this. I mean, I gave him like a 15-minute, like, spill, um, because we was talking about religion and how women shouldn't be leaders. I was uneducated, at that time, you know,
Yeah.
and I want to say uneducated as in of knowing both perspectives. It just takes time, you know.
Yeah.
So, yep. So
Mm.
that would be my instance. I know that was a long little soliloquy, but yeah, shout out to Dr. Harmon. Definitely, changed my perspective totally. Yep.
What's the wildest thing you believed and defended with? Oh, excuse me. You will hear a lot of times that hmm, the perm is the reason why black girls' hair doesn't grow. Um, I honestly think it was just miseducation. And I'd love to see how now a lot of the stylists are in this, are going down this path of educating people about their hair, about what products they should be using. Because we'll see it a lot, even on social media, is that the running joke is the perms stunted the growth for black girls in hair growth. And whereas I think that maybe it played a part in some ways, but I don't think that it was the whole cause. I have plenty of friends that have never had a perm, that have only done the straightening comb, And then some of them that have had perms at like their 20s and 30s and had different reactions to it. Even just myself with my own hair journey, like with me cutting all my hair off back in March, that was more of a restart for myself. I kept saying that, oh, I want to do a pixie cut when I turned 40, and I was just way too scared to do it. So I was kind of pushed into it back in March, and I'm really glad that I did it because I'm able to just assess where I am like emotionally.
Was it a
Go ahead.
was it a knee jerk
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Like my mom said, I wish you would have talked to some. I had took down my sew-in because I had been wearing sew-ins on and off for like the last 5 years. And just the last time, it just wasn't what I expected it to be. So I literally went in the bathroom after I got that sewing taken down, and my hair was past my shoulder. And I have some shears that I actually some professional shears that I purchased, and I literally went in the mirror and just started chopping hair off.
damn?
And I said, whatever they can shape from this hairstyle, I'm fine with it, but I'm starting over. I don't care if it's a perm, I don't care if it's a press. I'm starting over. So a lot of that, oh, the perm had girls' hair falling out. No, it was lack of education. Um, and I'm glad.
Well, they said every 6 weeks you had to do it.
Yeah, and it's like you didn't have
I
to.
remember. I don't want to cut you off because it's your turn. And what I mean by your turn, you talking about female hair. Ain't no
Yeah.
way I know more about it just because I got little locks. But believe me, I ain't even wash my own hair. Okay. So I have no
Yeah.
education that goes to it. Look, as we
And
pause.
keep going. Right. I was like,
But you can't strip your hair. I just felt like of learning myself and my culture and my people, I will not knowingly do certain things to my hair. And I've seen where you like, and an example, when I mean I've seen it as a adult. But I remember in the 90s, because I born in the 80s. Remember the little tail in the back?
oh,
Come on now. They
we
just brought
will
it
never
back.
forget it.
Come on now. They just brought it back like 5 years
Unfortunately,
ago.
unfortunately, they did.
Well, if you got the little tail in the back, my mama learned that you could put a little curling iron to that because she was curling iron hers.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a little curling iron, all of a sudden it went from being that long to that long. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now
Say
you got a
what?
real tail in the back.
Say
Well,
word. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
well, if you do it every day, what's gonna happen
Oof.
to that cooked hair?
Yeah.
It's gonna cook and cook and cook.
With
Next thing
no
you know,
heat
your
protection.
tail in the back went from here to down there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
want it no
You
more.
putting a little spritz on there, you sizzle. No, no, no. Was
So
this?
I, so I tell anybody, like you just gotta anything that's gonna fry your hair, it's
Yeah.
gonna do what it do.
Yeah.
It's dye. A dye is a fry. So I don't know, and I try to look at my loctician.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shout out to Nettie. Uh, but she's taking care of me, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I can't. But you got to take care of your hair. You can't have certain people in your head, and
Yeah.
take your energy out, and
Yeah.
it's a lot because it's your scalp. It's the most tender part, to your brain. So yeah, yeah, I'm big on it. Don't
Ooh.
dye your hair. Don't fry your hair. If you gotta do that, just cut it off.
To start
Yeah.
anew.
Yeah. Cause what did India Ari say?
I am not my hair. Yeah,
Nothing else to say.
on these crows, on these crows. So we're gonna jump right into our rapid fire round.
All right now. All
Myth
right now.
you wish was true.
If I wish was true.
Yeah, myth that you wish was true.
Oh, a myth that I wish was true.
Hmm.
Hmm. Easter Bunny.
Oh,
That's the first thing popped in my head. Easter Bunny. The way the kids get a little money. I remember being a kid, like, oh, waiting on your tooth to fall out.
yeah.
I may have rearranged my shit because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Being honest, because I want a little bit of money, and yeah, the tooth fairy, and then but the heartbreaking thing is to learn that that motherfucker was not that motherfucker. Oh, we gotta cut that one out.
It's
But learning that, you know, it was like your people.
yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
first time that I understood that people watch you in your sleep.
Mm.
That's deep. That's deep.
What? Yes. What? Wait,
I
no.
didn't know. You know, you're a kid, you don't know. You think you just pass out and then all of a sudden somebody wake you up. But that just lets you know then people watch you in your sleep.
Yeah, they do. Hmm.
Yeah. How about yourself?
So a myth that I wish was true. Gosh, what do I have? Oh,
No.
no, I already said something about this, but the perm and I feel like that I wish was true. Nah. Yeah, what do I have? I feel like I have oh a myth that I wish was true. Because I don't know if it's true or not. But when I was living in North Carolina, my friends, whenever they saw a cardinal, they would blow 3 kisses.
Oh wow.
And I find that to this day, whenever I see a red cardinal, not the girlfriend, because you know she has red throughout, but when I find the boy cardinal, I blow 3 kisses. And it's just such habit for me now that I'm like, oh. And it's supposed to be for them when I was living in the South. They were like, oh, yeah, that's your sign of like finding love. I said, child, now we in 2025. I said, where the hell is it? Or maybe I missed some of those signs because
Love is love is in the air.
it's
That's why they're
for
saying
others.
promoting.
It's for others, but not.
No, 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 no. Love is for all.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do as
Help
humans.
me. Mm.
If we're not promoting love, then this question why we're here.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because love don't mean like
Love don't
individual,
mean a thing.
collective, you know.
Myth you wish was true. If that red cardinal was saying love your way, the love that you desire in your heart. Because sometimes I think you'll be sending it, and I'm like, I don't want this nigga in my life. I don't want this. I don't want it. I don't want it. So we're gonna move on to
Nah, I don't want
I don't want it.
it.
Superstitions you secretly will follow.
Superstitions I'll secretly follow. It's your turn before me, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. I still don't put my purse on the floor. I don't know what my grandma's instilled in me, but even growing up, I don't remember them throwing their purse on the floor like under a pew. It was always on the seat. But they also taught me that, listen, everybody in the church ain't saved. So when you go around for the collection plate, you take your purse with you, ma'am.
Not everybody ain't say.
I said, oh, I take my purse with me when I'm going around on the electric. Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. So yeah, so that's just one that I still secretly follow. Like I'm not leaving my purse unattended in a church.
All right. Secretly follow.
Uh-huh.
Well, strategically,
Mm.
strategically, I try not to follow none of. I won't say none, but I strategically like I felt like they weren't. It was their experience,
Okay. Okay.
and I ain't think it was gonna be mine. You know.
Ooh, I feel that.
So but one thing that I do follow is I keep my ID on me.
Mm,
I'm a black man. You must have your ID.
absolutely. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I understand it. Well, I don't want you to know about no. Go ID yourself.
Yeah.
That way that if something happened to you, I'll be able to ID you.
Mm, mm-hmm.
That's what my mama told me.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your ID on you.
Ooh.
So that's one thing I didn't like. I don't like none of the you should, because first of all, I think I should have an opportunity to um um come. You know what I mean? Like you bring, oh, I like what you doing to me versus you saying this what you should do.
Yeah.
Let me accept
Yeah.
what you do versus you telling me I need to accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Chile. What's a myth that you will not pass down or a childhood saying you still quote?
That's two drastic parts.
I mean, you can answer both.
If it's one that I won't pass down, um, it's what this is what black people do.
Mm.
Dot dot dot.
Ooh.
I ain't passing that down. You know, I my goal is to go to, even if we just stay here in this country, it's 50 states.
Yeah.
So my goal is to go to all 50. Um, so I want to make sure that my kids or my people can make it in all 50. And last I checked, if you identify like I identify, we're only 12, 13% of the population. So I already know that most of us ain't gonna be in most of those places that I'm trying to expose most of my people to.
Mm-hmm. Say
So
word.
with that being said, we need to be able to adapt and learn.
Yeah.
It ain't just about you.
Ooh, I agree. So, what about a childhood saying you still quote?
A childhood, you know, um, as I get older, I lose the childhood.
Oh.
Yeah, you lose the childhood. I mean, I would have to go to one of the educators, and then I would have to go and ask one of my friends, such as yourself, what did Miss Flaw
Uh-uh.
and what did
No.
Miss Whitelaw
Mm-mm.
tell us as a kid?
Mm.
Because obviously, we're their babies in the same classroom
Yeah.
that's now years later. But I can't identify
Hmm.
specifically. One just popped in my head though. Miss Whitelow, shout out to a Bell family.
Yeah.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. That remember she used to do that. You remember that?
No, I do remember. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
She
no.
did. She used to do that
Okay.
when we
I
were
mean,
like
yeah.
3 years old, 4 years
We
old.
also need to tell the people that you are the reason why I got put in timeout for the first time ever in my life.
That's cool. That's cool. I wanted to show you longevity at its place.
Why do I bother? Why do I bother? Um, but you all, so some childhood sayings that I still quote. I still quote my dad's Miles's maintenance. When I hopped in the car today and I saw that my car is at 66,000 miles, I was like, ooh. He said, anything over 60,000 miles, you're going to be paying for maintenance and all this. Just remember Miles's maintenance. And I instantly got upset.
Mm. And look, and the cars are different now.
Totally different. But I just got in that car like, why did you mark us like this? But I want to also stress that we want to be able to, like, the listeners have their own myths, they have their own stories, and I want them to be able to chime in, whether it's on Ronnika.Williams, you can slide my DMs on Instagram, or even,
I think it's my turn. No, at Mr. Fantastic on Instagram at MR Fantastic World.
yeah. So we want you to be able to share these stories of like your myths or your superstitions with us so we're able to just kind of engage on the page and on the episode. But there's quite, yeah, that Miles's maintenance still has me in a choke hold. Cause I'm like, why is this a thing? It's really a thing. From the transmission to the oil changes and
I
it's a
remember
whole
I
thing.
remember one time we went and stopped at your pop's house and I think I started talking about no, I had just bought Deuce and a Quarter. Yeah, I had just bought Deuce and a Quarter.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like, what is Deuce and a Quarter? Deuce and a Quarter was an 85 Buick LeSabre. Oh man, it was my first car I
Yeah.
ever bought cash money.
Cash money.
$500.
Cash money.
No, actually, it wasn't even $500. It was $800, and I got it at an auction for Barron County. All right. So that's how deep this goes.
Oh
So got this car,
my gosh.
Deuce and a Quarter. And one of the first places I went was Renika's dad's house. And I started talking about it. I needed tires. I needed because you buy a car for $500,
Uh-huh.
it's
Uh-huh.
just a hunk of
Yeah.
metal during that
Yeah.
period of time. It's 80, it's an 85. Look, you hit that car with something, it's going through the building.
Listen,
I,
they don't make them like that no more.
because total still.
What?
Um, but end up getting the brakes, alternator, um, um, radiator. I learned how to do an oil change. I spent, as one would say when you first get a car, a lot of money. But
Yeah.
now as an adult, like as your father said, miles is maintenance.
Miles
No.
is maintenance.
But I remember complaining about it, and then he said, son, miles is maintenance. And ever since then, I understood. Like, if you drive a car, oh, you better. It's not just happening.
No,
You
no.
better wash it. You better drive. You
Yeah.
better do
You
anything.
better pacify this baby.
Correct. 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 Because you got to remember it's on the elements of of
Ooh.
outside. You know. Yep.
Again, that's why to this day my brother can't say nothing because he was driving a Buick Regal,
Shout out to
graduated
Buick.
in the year of 1990, but that Buick Regal was in 1988. Can you imagine being a senior in high school? You
That's nice.
a two-door Regal.
Mm.
My sister
Look,
was clearly holding on to the previous decade of cars, but a 1988 navy blue Regal as a senior in high school
look. You just said he had an 88 and 90,
in
and I just
90.
told you I had an 85 in '03.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Actually, no, that's a lie. I had an 85 in '05.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
It was
counts
at least
20 years
20
old.
years old. It was at least 20 years old.
He was blessed.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Perry was like, I mean, that was because that I wanted to ride with because
He got the good car.
he got the good car and
Got
it's
the good
safe.
car.
He didn't came from a two-parent household. Like I,
So who had a good car during your era in high school?
okay, so here's the funny thing.
Who had the good car? Come on now, we know. Come on now,
I
run that
started with
money.
the good car, and then Demita talked so much shit to her daddy. It was like next thing you know, she was pulling up in this Jeep Grand Cherokee. I was like, oh, we did upgrade. Yes,
You know the crazy part about it is I was a senior and y'all were juniors with these good ass
with
cars,
cars, with cars, with
and I
cars.
had nothing.
Oh,
In the words of what Whitney Houston, I had nothing.
nothing,
Okay,
nothing,
yeah, I had nothing.
nothing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I ain't had nothing. And I'm
yeah.
like, why
Listen.
I'm trying to get in their car in band camp?
Y'all was over there on the side of Bandcamp, whereas we're out here in the boonies. And my dad was like, I'm not finna be taking these niggas back and forth to these extracurricular
You
activities.
literally live down the street.
Four
And when you
miles.
live, when you think about it, it was
It was 4
literally
miles, but
go down and
it was
turn and
4 miles.
oh,
But
oh, come on now.
but I am speaking to our elders that were like, if I can pay a couple $100 for them to transport just themselves and they safe, I'm gonna rock with it. So that my dad's whole motivation was I have retired and now I got one more. And I'm not finna be carting her ass back and forth to these practices, these extracurricular activities. So she better figure it out. But it's one thing that he did that I'm still ashamed about to this day. Senior skip day. And everyone decided, let's go to Steak and Shake first, and then we'll just figure it out afterwards. We walk into Steak and Shake in the little dining area. Off to the right is my dad with his newspaper, and I said, is anybody else daddy retired? Because clearly mine is loving it over here in this corner. And I walk over there because at the time, one of our classmates didn't have enough money. And I went over there. I was just talking to my dad. He said, "You got enough? You got enough cash?" Yeah, I got enough money. Yeah, cause your ass don't need to be asking nobody for no money. Cause if you got enough money to be hanging out, skipping school and shit. Yeah, I have enough. So you have enough. Like I said, I mean, do you want me to cover this friend that's short? I mean, shit, we don't need them going to jail. So I think I know they people. So I think we can cover them today. But don't make this shit a habit.
Was I that person?
No.
Okay, just
I'll
making
tell you off screen who the
sure.
But yeah, it was my dad was always active. He was always present even when he was working. I look back at like the senior night for my brother was a part of the Ben Harbor Tigers basketball team. Like senior night, my dad was there, my mom was there. Um he didn't miss moments like that.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
You
and
got,
um,
at the end of the day, you got to be a parent.
yeah,
Not just a parent that you hear. Like, apparently you're here.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
have to have, you have to be present.
Hmm.
Because you can go there and not be a parent.
Absolutely.
But at least I guarantee everybody else know you're
They
there.
know. They know who that. They know
Yeah,
who that. Who that.
absolutely.
Who that.
Absolutely.
So again, we want to be able to tell you all to follow us on social media. I am Ronika.Williams on all social media. And we can also find.
at Mr. Fantastic World. Look, you got me ready for
I
this.
know.
Look. I am 4 episodes in, and I shouldn't be making those same mistakes.
I mean,
At Mr. Fantastic
do.
World,
We do.
Instagram, and let's go.
Let's go and let's get out of here. It is another week that we are wrapping up for the podcast, so be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend that it's always about story time when it comes to Please Do Tell podcast. But I'm your homegirl Ronika, and I am here with my homeboy and your co-host, which is
Jeffrey,
all
uh,
right.
at Mr. Fantastic World, let's go.
All right, so we will see you next time for more story time. Wahala!